Is David Carr ready to take the torch at 74 kilograms and continue the tradition of success Team USA has had? That's what we're going to talk about in this weight class. September 14th and 15th is when David Carr is going to wrestle at the United World Wrestling World Championships in Zagreb, Croatia. And for David Carr, this has been a legendary weight class. It was from 2011 up until 2021. It was Jordan Burroughs' weight class. And then from that point on, it was Kyle Dake's. Kyle Dake moves up. Jordan Burroughs out of competition last year, maybe retired, maybe not. We'll find out more. So now it's David Carr's turn. And for Team USA fans, should we be excited? How much should we be anticipating from David Carr? In my opinion, you should be thrilled that David Carr is in this position right now. He has a lot of credentials, a lot of evidence that would suggest he's ready to come. He's ready to go to the World Championships and come back with some hardware. Now, looking back, he was a junior world champion. That is not an easy achievement to earn. He's been a multiple NCAA champion. He makes the team at Team USA. He knocks off a very, very good Mitchell Messenbrink at Final X to make it to this point. But how good is this weight class is what we want to talk about. And how does David Carr fit? Well, starting at the top, there are two absolute monsters, very, very tough wrestlers to beat. Zarbek Sidikov and Sherman Valiev. Now, that first name is probably one you're most familiar with. Zarbek Sidikov is a combined 3-0 against Jordan Burroughs and Kyle Dake. He beat Jordan Burroughs in 2018 and 2019, and then in 2023, he took out Kyle Dake. Now, if you're wondering, where was he at the Olympics? Russia, whole thing. Most of them weren't allowed in, including Sidikov, so he didn't get to wrestle. But he is an Olympic champion. He is a multiple world champion, and he is someone who has never gone to a world or Olympic championships at the senior level and not won. He's gotten gold every single time. And even though Sherman Valiev beat him at the European Championships, Sidikov, in my opinion, is still the guy to beat when it matters most. He got injured in that match. That's not why he lost, but he was off the mat for a little bit. Then we saw him win the spot for Russia. And though Valiev got it done, the word gamer and the savviness of Sidikov, it just stands out. Now, Valiev, what's his credentials? Well, he was an Olympic bronze medalist last year in Paris, but Zhamalov, the Uzbekistan wrestler who won the Olympics, it was an incredibly controversial match that Valiev lost. He was winning late, and there was a last second caution in one given to Zhamalov that gave him the win. It was highly debated if this was the right call, the wrong call, what was going on that precipitated it. But either way, Valiev wound up losing the match that many people thought he should win. But that just shows the kind of caliber of wrestler Sherman Valiev is. Combine that with the fact that he has a win over Zarbek Sidikov. That is not a win many people can claim. An interesting note, no American has beaten Zarbek Sidikov since 2015 Brent Metcalf at the Ivan Urigan when Sidikov was just 19 years old. So it's been a long time since USA has been able to beat Sidikov. Great outside step, great slide by, and a great tactician. Valiev, he can do just about everything. He's more of a sit back and wait and a reactive wrestler. He's not going to go after you, but he can go and get a takedown when he needs to. So those are the big two. They're really tough to beat. They're the matches. They're the only two guys in the bracket where if David Carr's wrestling them, I'm thinking we're an underdog here. We're going to have to really outperform what we've been able to prove in the past to win this match. Everywhere else, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like David Carr really belongs in this tournament. I think he's got to have a lot of winnable matches. But one thing you got to know, it's a deep, deep weight class. This weight class never takes any prisoners. It's extremely hard to win here. It's hard to get wins here. Go back and watch some of Kyle Dake and Jordan Burroughs' runs here to World Gold. They are being tested every step of the way. And this weight class is still constructed that way. You think about, for David Carr, one of his great attributes, everyone knows his speed and he can attack both sides, really good finisher, but his mind is his difference maker. And his ability to adjust is what really separates him. Now, you think about those adjustments. He gets teched by Mitchell Messenbrink, then he beats him in 2 straight matches. He loses to Salkazanov of Slovakia, who is just a stalwart at this weight class, someone who comes back with a medal almost every single time. He loses 3-0, completely shut down, and then wrestles him again later, and he's able to win. He loses to Takahashi of Japan, someone that beat Mitchell Messenbrink at U23 Worlds. But if you watch that match, it's very, very winnable for David Carr. Those are some of the contenders. Now, there's a couple other contenders as well. But those are the three other guys. If one of the big two, Sidakov and Valiev, don't win, I think it's one of those three, David Carr, Takahashi, or Salkozhanov, that could wrestle in the finals. And there's a handful of other contenders. Iran's Imami, multiple world medalists. Kanayev, U23 world champion for Azerbaijan. Ramazanov, Kyrgyzstan, Hungary, all really tough in there. And those are guys that are could be potential landmines. Now, what's really interesting, seeding at the World Championships is sort of unique in that if you're not wrestling, if you're not particularly active in a few certain tournaments, you're probably not going to be seeded. So in many cases, the best wrestlers don't get a seed at all. And in this case, 3 of the top 4 are unseeded, which means they're going to be randomly placed in the bracket. And one of those 3 is David Carr. He is not seeded, nor is Sidakov, nor is Japan's Takahashi. So with that in mind, we don't really know where David Carr is going to sit in the bracket. We don't know where Sidakov's going to be in the bracket. As you look at these seeds, you know, Valiev's on top, Salkozhanov down below, Imami down below. So you would probably rather be on that bottom side if you could guess, or if you could pick, but we don't know where Sidakov is. He could be right there. That could be a round 1 match, David Carr versus Zauerbek Sidakov. Well, I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's reality. Remember, last year, it was Sadulayev versus David Taylor, round 1. Remember back in what year was it? 18. David Taylor versus Yazdani, round 1. These things can happen when they're randomly drawn in, and they could happen here for Team USA. So it's a tough path. It's a tough bracket. David Carr's getting better every time out. I think he's going to really have a good understanding of this field and what it brings to the table. His ability to finish is a separator because he can get the legs on just about everyone, and he does a nice job. It's going to probably take him getting some takedowns and some laces and the right path, but don't misunderstand me. I think Carr has the goods to be a world champion. I think he can beat just about every wrestler in this bracket. I would not be surprised to see him in the world finals, but he's going to have his best day because this weight is absolutely nails. Cannot wait to see how this one plays out. For the team race, this is a big one. We need David Carr to come through and come back with a medal. If we're going to contend for that podium spot, if we're going to contend for a world title for Team USA, David Carr has to come back with some hardware. So I'm excited for this weight. What do you think? September 14th and 15th, this one goes down. You can watch every match live on FloWrestling. Cannot wait for this one. Give me your predictions for 74 kilograms.